All right, so good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Roz, sitting in for our phenomenal Chief Sales Officer, Phyllis Nash. And today is Wednesday. It's the day we huddle up. You know, I've been seeing the posts that are on Facebook from our coach, Dan Johnson. Yeah, he's not just our coach. Yes, he's his own family's coach, his family's mentor, his family's pastor, his family's dad. Yeah, a proud papa, I'm telling you. So listen, I'm going to get out the way because we want to hear from him. We want to hear what's special coming out of his mouth. And I want you to make sure you get pen and paper because you don't want to miss a single solitary thing. Coach Dan, are you there?
Absolutely, absolutely. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I think that was you.
All right. All right. No, it was me. It was me. Good morning. Dr. Roz, I want to just thank you for being absolutely phenomenal. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate your stick to itiveness. I appreciate your energy that you bring and everything that you do on behalf of this company. And so I just want to salute you. And if anybody else have not said thank you, let me say thank you right now on behalf of everybody. Certainly, we appreciate and we thank God for another day. Man, I just got back last night from Milwaukee, having the pump peace and pleasure and privilege to empower um, a whole bunch of people from all across the globe. And it gets really interesting, Dr. Roz, when you are the only one in the room. And I'll let that marinate for a little bit. Yeah, when you are the only one in the room, you kind of have the tendency to stick out. And one or two things is going to happen. You're going to you're going to get exposure, or you're going to be exposed. and so and so I'm grateful that we got exposure with our marketplace ministry on this past week. Listen, we're coming to the end of the year. We're getting ready to cross over to a next year. Undoubtedly, many of you, like me, or like many of you, I have looked at the goals that I set for the year. I looked at what was accomplished and what was not accomplished. I looked at some of the things that I struggled with. And, but to be honest with you, there's some parts of me that is still struggling with the fact that I did not reach the goal, or um, I missed the mark. And so I remember one day I came out of my driveway. I came to my driveway, came out of my home, went to my driveway to get in my car, and the car wasn't there. It wasn't there, and I'm like, man, what's going on? So somebody must have stolen it. I thought. Called the police first. I called my insurance company. Then I called the finance company because I had gap insurance. And I said to them, I said, hey, somebody stole my car. I don't know if we're going to find it. So I want to kind of just, give you the heads up and know and get an understanding of what the process is, with the finance company, with the gap insurance. And the lady said on the phone, to my despair, she said, Mr. Johnson, unfortunately, your car wasn't stolen, was repossessed. I was in shock. I was in shock because, like our CEO, when I hit the age of 30, I retired from corporate America. I was in shock because that year I made my first million. I was in shock because we had built 30 homes in cash for low income families. And here I am standing in the driveway of my car, in the driveway where my car is supposed to be, and it had been repoed. So the challenge is that was shortly after the market, the economy had crashed, shortly after 2008. And I lost six figures in the stock market. 30 homes we built think we sold maybe 2. And the leader of that investment group became, we could not find him. And not only that, I felt like, I don't know, maybe you guys could relate to this. In that moment, I went from having everything, sitting on top of the world, nice home and all of this stuff, paying my bills automatically, but not being able to afford my car note. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea. I was afraid. I felt like a failure once again. Here's what I did know. I knew that going back was not an option. I knew that going back to homelessness was not an option. I knew that going back from living from paycheck to paycheck was not an option. I knew that going back to struggling and not being able to take care of my family was not an option. I refused. I made a decision that I refused to be stuck. And so after several years of grinding, after several years of going back to school, and after several years of learning more and more and more and more, I was able to find success again. I went from not being able to pay my car note to building multiple 6-7-figure businesses. Went from from renting a home, by which we wind up getting evicted because of the landlord not paying the mortgage, to building $1 million real estate portfolio. I went from feeling like a failure, being empowered to succeed. I don't believe that my story is unique. Face of pain is the same. The cause of that pain is different. For some of you, it may be a loss of a job. For some of you, it may be, hey, I've been working at this business, and guess what? This business is just not working. For some of you, it may be, I just need more money. Here's what I believe. And so because of that, you feel like a failure. But here's what I believe. I believe those of you that are under the sound of my voice, and if I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. I believe that you are not a failure. I believe that failure is a gift. I believe that failure is nothing more than a life lesson. And you guys have heard me say this, that says, oops, that did not work. So, as many of you know, over the past 20 years now, I've been fortunate and privileged to help hundreds of small business owners and thousands of people across the globe overcome the pain of failure and to begin to live the life that they desire to live, both personally, professionally, and financially. And there was 4 keys that I learned that was able to get me back out of that place of being stuck. I want to share those 4 things with you today. You may have heard me say some of them before. You may have heard me say all of them before, but I believe, as I woke up this morning thinking about what I would share, I believe that helping you to understand who you are, I believe that was important for the success of your future. These are the 4 keys I learned. Number 1, I learned that you must have confidence, because at the point you fail, at the point it didn't work, at the point you got hurt, at the point of your disappointment, not only do you lose that, but we have the tendency to lose our confidence. And we become one with the pain, one with the failure. And literally, it becomes that thing, that becomes the paralysis that keeps us from moving forward. So, how do, in that moment, Coach Dan, how do you regain your confidence? Here's what I'm going to share with you. Number one, you must separate your identity, which is who you are, from the failure, which is something that happened to you. You must realize the two of you are not one. See, as long as you one with failure, wherever you go, failure will accompany you. I'll say that again. As long as you become one with failure, wherever you go, failure will accompany you. So you must give your identity. You must give failure a bill of divorce from your identity. You know, if I was in a church, I say, turn to your neighbor and say, failure, and tell them I'm divorcing failure today. I'm divorcing failure today. But I'm not in church, so I won't do that. The second thing, real quick, as we get ready to vastly close, we got to focus. You got to focus not on where you came from. You got to focus not on the pain of your past, but you got to focus on the potential of your future, which means you have to establish. You have to establish your vision. You have to set those goals. You have to pursue those goals, and you have to make certain that you do not bite the distractions that will come and allow those distractions to bite you. Third point, because I gotta get out of here. It's getting late. The third point that I want to share with you, this morning as you get ready to cross over into 2024. The third point that I want to share with you is this. I want to share with you that not only must you have confidence, not only must you focus, but you must also develop discipline. With self-discipline, almost anything is possible. Discipline is going to require for you to make a sacrifice. And most times, the sacrifice that you make are those things that feel good to you, those things that are convenient for you, those things that you're comfortable in. You must develop discipline and be willing to do the things that you are afraid of doing, you don't think you could do it, and that that you don't want to do. You have to have discipline. Listen, everyone is, and here's the deal. It's difficult to have discipline when you think you cannot do it. Especially when everyone else is telling you that you got to avoid failure at all costs. When society says that if you fail, you're a loser. But I'm telling you to embrace failure. I'm telling you that with the right tools, with the right strategies, with the right principles and the right people, you have the ability to look at failure as a gift, and it will become the conduit for your success. Fourth thing, because I gotta go, it's consistency. So number one, you must develop confidence. Number two, you must stay focused. Number three, you must have discipline. And number four, you must be consistent. Y'all have heard me say it all the time. I'll say it right here. You got to do the right thing consistent enough, long enough, and it eventually be enough. Part of some of our challenge is we're expecting it to happen so fast. And we don't understand the power of consistency. Doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and all of a sudden it works. All of a sudden it works. This is why, one of the main questions that I'm asked all the time, and I believe this is why people call, this is why I have coaching students and all of that, because they ask, Coach Dan, can you help me overcome this pain, overcome this failure, overcome this? And I believe that if God can do it for me, I believe that he's given me strategies and tools to help people just like you, those of you that feel like I felt when I was standing in that driveway. As I bring this to a close, I want to share this with you. Number one, I need you to know you are not a failure. You are empowered to be able to succeed in every aspect of your life. You are empowered to be everything that God created you to be. You are empowered to do everything you put your mind, your will, and your hands to do. You are empowered to overcome every detour and every obstacle, every roadblock, every challenge that comes your way. I pray that today that you can tap into the power that's on the inside of you. And if you believe that you are empowered, if you feel that you are empowered, wherever you are right now, I just want you to repeat after me. Say, I am empowered. Come on, say it one more time. I am empowered. The last time, I am empowered. I want you to know you are empowered. I need y'all to do me a favor real quick. I want you guys to be praying for me. I get ready to fly out this afternoon to Atlanta to Dr. Cindy Tram's In Your Year Strong, where I'll be hosting, ministering, facilitating, as well as I am doing my book release, Empowered to Prosperity, the book. You guys know I did the boot camp, and I also will be releasing our financial literacy board game, My Money Score, that we just dropped. And so we're just believing God for some big and major things. If you do me a favor, just be praying for me. Those of you that are not connected with me on social media, I'm trying to do better with that. Why don't you go ahead and connect? Dan Johnson Worldwide on Facebook, follow me there. And then Dan D. Johnson _ on Instagram. Go ahead and hit that button, follow me there. We're going to be helping a lot of people to overcome failure, whatever failure in their life, and help them to grow and to succeed and live the kind of life they desire to live without the consideration of cost. That's it for me. I'm going to pass it back to you, Dr. Roz. I want y'all to have a supernaturally wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you.
Thank you, Coach Dan. And here's how we're going to close this. I'm going to unmute everybody, and we're going to say these words. We're going to say two things, Coach. We're going to say, I am empowered, and we're going to say, I'm divorcing failure. Here we go. I'm unmuting everybody. Get it out. I'm empowered. I'm divorcing failure. Come on, let me hear you. Let me hear you.
I'm empowered.
I'm divorcing failure.
I'm empowered. I'm divorcing failure. Right now.
God be the glory.
There we go.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Thank you, Dr. Ross. Y'all do me a favor. When you go on those social media platforms, why don't y'all go ahead and tag and hashtag that I am empowered, hashtag I'm divorcing failure. I love it. I love it. Until next time, as always, prosper. God bless.
Bless you, Dr.